Good morning, first grade friends. Today we are going to be doing session 2, 2 turns to win. So it's going to show you how to play a game. Sorry about that. And our first slide. Close your eyes and picture 1 dime and 4 pennies in your mind and think about how much money that is. So here is the 1 dime. It is worth 10. So we would count that as a 10, but then we're going to count our pennies as ones. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for a total of 14 cents. The game, 2 turns to win. This is what the game board looks like. If you would want to print this out, you could. You wouldn't have to print it out. You could take 4 squares on a piece of paper, make a spinner like we've made before, or you can print it out if you have access to do that. And the way we play this game, you'll spin to see how many dimes and how many pennies you can collect for your team. You probably just, this is a teacher against student, but you could do mom and dad against me or a brother or sister against you. And this will help us with adding and counting money. First, you can play against me, but you can see what you'll do. Let me see if I can go to the next one. I'm going to go back to this one. You would use your paper clip to spin one of these numbers. Take a paper clip and spin a dime or a penny, whatever you get here. If you get a 6 and you have pennies, then you would show 6 pennies under yourself. And maybe mom or dad goes and they spin 2, but they get dimes. So they would put 2 dimes there. And you can just draw them. We've drawn money on our practice pages before where we've just put the value of the coin in there. So a penny would be a circle with a 1 in it. A dime would be a circle with a 10 in it. Okay, so you don't have to have pennies and dimes. If you have them around home, that would be a great way to do it. So you can see here they are actually playing and keep scooting back and forth. They are actually putting pennies and dimes in. One thing you'll notice too, they're putting all their dimes in one box, all of their pennies, all of dimes in one box, all of their pennies in another box. And I want you to think about why would we want to keep them separate? Think about that for a moment. Remember, when we're counting money, we want to be able to count all of one coin. And especially when we're counting with tens and ones, dimes and pennies, we would want to count all the dimes first. Then we would want to go to the pennies. So here's 2 turns to win. Again, you'd be able to go ahead and print this out. When you are finished, then you will write the total amount of money that each person, students or teacher, has to see which team has more. What should we do if a team has 10 pennies? What do you think you could do? We can exchange those 10 pennies for a dime. It's going to make it easier for you to count. And here is a record sheet. So this is a record sheet to show how you can keep track of how many dimes and pennies that you get. And that way, if you were to get 10 pennies, say the yellow ones under the teacher are all pennies, at that time I'd be able to go ahead and switch them out. And instead of having 2 dimes and maybe 9 pennies or 10 pennies or 15 pennies, I would change it and have 3 dimes and 5 pennies. There's a 2 turns to win a record sheet on student book page 62. I believe I have put the pages into the all materials for you, so you probably will be able to find that page if you have access to a printer or at least want to see what the page looks like. Student book page 262, it says record the number and the kinds of coins each team collected. Color in the grid for each team's total, starting with the dimes and then the pennies, and change colors for each dime you record, but use the same color for all pennies. So we'll go back here to this, and you can see that as long as they were filling just one line, think about our days in school chart, we would use the same color, but then pennies, I would use the same color until I reached a 10, and then I would have to change to another color. So here, play with a partner or a team. Teams will need 16 dimes, 16 pennies. If you can get those coins, that would be great. 2 turns to win game board. You'll need a spinner, which is your paper clip and your pencils, and then a record sheet. So if you can play this with somebody, that would be a great thing to do. Okay, it does become, something fun to play, to be able to trade out those dimes, or I'm sorry, trade out those pennies for dimes. It helps you learn a lot about money. So tomorrow we'll be doing session 3. Session three is pull, count, and compare. So in this whole module, you're going to be doing a lot of hands-on activities, and I will hopefully make sure that those are all available to you in the week 4 materials. Have a great day.